Welcome back to the channel. My name is Verbal RD. It's a beautiful morning here in Valhiem. It's a great day for a brand new build. Let's check it out. Today we will be building a double stack kiln smelter setup for your base, for your blacksmith area, if you don't have a large footprint to put something like this in. It's highly effective, uses a full stack of wood, and delivers the coal directly to your smelters. Additionally, because of the design, it's completely modular, so you can add or subtract smelters and kilns as needed. Let's get right to the build. What you want to do first is level out an area large enough for this that you want to use in your base. Bring out your hoe, stand at the lowest point in the ground, and just start to click around you. And this will start leveling out the area. And then let's take a look at the materials that we're going to be using today. Once you decide where it is that you want to build, we're going to start off. We're going to grab all of our stone. We're going to go into building. We're going to go to stone floor 2x2. And we're going to drop one here. And we're going to make a square with 4 of those. And then this is what I typically like to do. You can either do this with a wooden floor or a wooden wall or a 2-meter board, whatever you want to do. I like to, since I'm already in the stone, I like to do this because then I can just delete this. And since I have just enough stone for this build, we'll stick one here, and then we're going to do this. We'll come back, delete that spacer because we want that space in between, and then we're gonna finish it off so that we should have something that looks like this: 2 4x4 stone pads. Next, we want to come and gather up all of our core wood because we're going to use all of it, and we are going to come here and we're going to go and put a 4-meter on one corner of each of these pads on top of the stone. This is very important. This will set up our height that we need. We're gonna put that on top. Then we're gonna change over to our 2-meter core, and we're gonna let this snap down into the ground, right in the corner here, right there like that. And we're gonna put that in the other 3 corners of each of these stone pads. Next, we're gonna take our 4-meter board, and we're going to place those on top of the 2-meter core wood pillars that we just placed. And this is going to give us the height that we need. And then we're going to take our 4-meter long beam, horizontal beam, and we're going to start off on that short pillar, the one that we placed on top of the stone. And we're just going to make ourselves a square going all the way around. Like so. And once you come back here, then we're going to delete this one, reuse that core wood, and now we're going to do like we did with the other ones. We're going to put a 2-meter beam down first, and then a 4-meter beam down on top of it, and now it should look like the rest. And all you have to do now is just do that for the other side, and you should have something that looks a lot like this. So for our next step, we are going to need to grab the materials to make our smelters. And we're going to go into our building. We're going to go to crafting, going to go to smelter. So there's 3 sides, 3 important sides to this thing. There's the side that you put the ore into. There is the side that you put the coal into. And then there's the side where everything comes out. And what we're going to do is we want to line this up with this center line right here, right there. Okay. We're going to line the chute up with that and the edge. We want this to come to the edge. We're going to scoot it back just ever so slightly once we get to that edge, because we want this smelter to be in the center of the pad as much as possible. So something that looks like that. You know, that could probably go back a little bit further. Let's push that back just a tiny bit further. So I'm going to line this up right here on the edge, and then I'm going to come back just a little bit. Because what we want is we want this to be in the center as much as possible, but we also want our finished product to come spitting out of the chute into our little collection container that we're going to be placing here a little bit later. So I'm going to line that bottom of the edge of that chute up with the top edge of the platform. And then I'm going to back it up a little bit. And let's see how that looks. That looks beautiful. Excellent. All right, so we have our smelters down. So for this next step, we're going to come on over and pick up some wood. And you will need to create either steps or scaffolding or something. I'm doing this all without mods. So I'm going to place some stairs here. And just because I know I'm going to need it, I'm going to place some stairs here. I don't need these really to touch the ground. I just need them to get me up there to the top. We still have our core wood in our inventory, right? And what we're going to do now is we're going to take our 2 meter, our 2 meter horizontal. We're going to jump on top of our smelter here. We're going to line it up with this corner here, and we're going to turn it in like we're creating an X through that square. We're going to line that up and snap that in place. And what that's going to do is that is going to then attach to the smelter. And you can see now that core wood log is blue. Blue is the strongest stability. That's basically meaning it's connected to ground. Like that one down there is connected to ground. This one here is not. It's green. It's still stable, but it's not connected to ground. Now, because it's connected to the smelter is considered, for some reason, ground. Now this core wood is now blue like it's connected to ground. So we're going to take another piece of that 2 meter core wood piece, put it in the corner here, and we're going to snap that in place. Put it right into the smelter. For the back pieces, we're going to take our 4 meter core wood piece and we're going to turn it the same way. And what's going to end up happening is it should end up attaching itself to that short piece that we put across. And much like the other pieces, this should now turn blue. So it's super, super stable. So grab one more 4 meter core wood piece. We're going to put that in the corner. And there we go. Now we've created kind of like this little X pattern going through our smelter. Don't worry, our smelter is going to function just fine. Now our next step that we're going to do is we need to put our kilns up on top. So we're going to come over here and grab our kiln material, which again is 40 stone and 10 surtling cores. I do suggest creating a temporary platform that we're going to stick right here, right in between, because this will help us line this up a little bit better. So we're going to go to crafting. We're going to come down here to our kiln and we're going to turn this thing until we see the hole. See the hole? And we don't want to aim it towards this post. We want to go one more click past that post and see what happens here. Because of the fact that we're on top of the kiln, it's registering it as ground because technically speaking, we cannot put a kiln up in the air. It can go on the ground just fine. Well, once you find the space, it can go on the ground just fine. It doesn't like to be on anywhere else but ground, but because we're on top of the kiln, and like we showed previously before with the core wood turning blue being attached to the kiln is considered ground. So we're going to line this up and push this back as far as we possibly can before it turns red. Drop that down in place. Don't be worried if your kiln turns orange after it's been dropped. It's fine. But we want that hole to be kicking out here towards the center. We want this to be aiming so that when it spits out the coal, it's going to spit it out towards this center gap here. And we're going to take another kiln and we're going to do the same thing. You can line it up initially with that post, but then you're going to want to click it once with your mouse wheel until you get that hole pointed towards the center gap. And then you're going to find that sweet spot where you can push it back as far as you possibly can. And then now we have 2 kilns in the air. And then I suggest taking out this center support because we're not going to need that anymore. And there we go. We have now 2 kilns in the air. And we're going to come in here. We're going to make the chute for our coal. So that's going to require using 2 1 meter boards, and we're going to rotate those around. We're going to snap it to this lower point here. Okay, so there's an upper point, there's a lower point. We want to go to that lower point because we want to give it as much momentum as possible to roll down. And then we're going to take a 26-degree angle board and we're going to snap that directly in the center there. Okay, right in between those two. That's why we use the 2 1 meter boards so that we can get that center snap point. And then now we're going to do some free snapping. Free snapping is when you hold down your shift button. It allows you to aim your mouse and then you can kind of free range where you're going to put that piece. So what I'm doing is I'm actually taking my mouse and aiming it at the board next to it, right? And I am going to get it to where it just pops down. It is in line with everything else. And we're going to snap that there. And look, it looks like it's supposed to be there. We're going to come over here to the other side. We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to aim our mouse at the side of that center board. And we're going to try to find out where the edge of the board is. And put that in place. Just like that. Now that one looks like it's back a little further. So I'm actually going to correct that. You could do this however you choose. If you feel the need to correct that, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. This is your build. Okay, so that looks really, really good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create some lips on the side so that the coal doesn't end up rolling out and off the ramp. So we're gonna come here on the side of the two boards that we just put down, and we're gonna raise this board up slightly so that it creates kind of a lip. And we're gonna snap that one there, and then we're gonna do our best to match that height. We're holding down shift, and we're gonna do our best to match that height of that other board and create a second lip so it looks like that. And that looks really good. And that's gonna be our coal chute. It's going to allow the coal to roll down and fall into a little bin that we create down here. Let's work on the upper portion a little bit. Take some floor pieces, and we're going to snap one there, snap one there, snap one there, and then come up with the little one piece, one by one pieces. And we're going to snap one there, and snap one there. All right. And then now we're going to create a ladder off of this piece here. And this one, we're gonna make double wide because it's just easier to run up a double wide ladder. And it should go straight to the ground if your ground's been leveled properly. If not, you can level it, raise it, whatever you need to do. Or extend the ladder. You can even make it longer if need be. But we just want a little platform to take us up here. We're gonna jump up on top of our kilns. If you're not sure exactly how to do that, you hold shift to run and you jump and you can go up stone sidewalls, right? Just like this. We're gonna come up here on top of our kiln. We're gonna select our 2 meter core wood, and we're gonna extend all 4 of these poles two more meters. Now we have these little pieces above our kilns. So if you have your wood on you, which hopefully you do, we're gonna come over here to a 26-degree wood beam angle. And we're gonna place this. You don't want to place this in the. If this snaps to the front of your board, we don't want that there. We want this to snap to the top. Okay, just like this. Just like that. Now, what we're also gonna do is we're gonna add a 26-degree cross, and then we're going to delete. We're gonna delete that front board because we want this to extend, and you'll see why. So we're gonna attach another 26-degree angle board to the front of that cross, and on the front here, we're gonna go twice, okay? And then we're gonna delete this one, and what you might need to do is you either need to put scaffolding up on the back side or a ladder, or if you happen to have a little bit of raised ground like I do here in the back, you can actually just look up and see this. But now we're gonna add a 26-degree angle beam to the back of that cross, so it gives it a little overhang, just like that. And we are going to continue this kind of fashion across the entire top. However, I'm going to go and start down here on this end because we don't extend twice down here, and you'll see what we're going to do. We're going to put a 26-degree wood beam here. We're going to put one connecting right there. We're going to come in here to our cross. We're going to put our cross up on top. We're going to delete one of these, doesn't matter which one it is. But now we need to go down and add the 26-degree wood beam to that cross right there. So we get that little overhang. I mean, you could potentially just build scaffolding going around the outside of this and be able to walk around and do this and then take it down afterwards. So yeah, here's what we're going to do. We're going to extend this, and I don't really care how it snaps in place. Put that there, and then we're going to put that there, and that there. Okay. So that will give us the scaffolding that we need. So we don't have to constantly run up and down and up and down and up and down to do this. This makes this a lot easier. So we're gonna go back to our 26 degree, come here to this cross, snap that in place. We're only going one here, okay? Only one. And then what you could do actually is, since we're gonna need it here and here, you can add those pieces in already ahead of time. Put the cross in place. And then just come down here and snap that one in place. And then this is one here, we're going to extend this twice. And actually, we're going to extend this one twice as well. So those three get extended twice. This last one does not. And then run across here to the back side. Delete that one. Delete that one. And add these in place. So while we are here, we're going to add the roofing to the back of this. So we're going to go to the 26 degree thatch roof, and we don't want to snap this to the end. Okay, we want to actually go up one. So we're going to go right there. We're going to leave this little overhang. It's going to cover the kiln, which is what we want, but we're going to leave that little piece there overhanging the edge like so. So part of the design, and this, once again, this is an optional thing. All the wood that I have accounted for includes what I'm about to do. But it is not needed. This is just aesthetics. Make it look good. So I'm gonna add a cross right there, right? And then I'm gonna add a 26 degree board here to match what has been going on this entire time. And I'm gonna add one here. And we're not going to put any kind of thatch roofing in. It's just going to look like that. And this side, we should actually be able to use this laddering system that we've already set up. Put a 1 meter board here in the center, one on that connection point, one on that post. Go to the 26 degree cross. That should snap in the center. Grab the wood beam. We're going to actually extend this one twice here, just like so. And then if you've got still scaffolding, or if you can reach this from the ground, we're going to come around the backside, add one there. So we will now add the rest of our roofing right here. Go back to the 26 degree thatch roofing. And again, we're not snapping this all the way down here to the end. We're going right there. And we're going to match that here. That way it just covers the kiln. We're going to put that one there. And then these two are there. Now we're also going to add, because we have this extended, so we're going to grab the rest of our roof and we're going to snap this right in place there, just like so. And that is done. So now we're going to fix falling off. Well, actually, no, we're not. We're going to finish the roof first. So to finish the roof, we're going to take a 2 meter beam and we're going to snap it to the ends of the roofing pieces. Right there, like so. You should be able to reach this from the ground. We can delete these 2 pieces that we added in because we don't need these. That's not part of our design. And then we're going to add in supports for our not that one. We're going to add in supports for our little walkway there. And the reason why I said not that one is because of the fact that if I put one here, it puts it directly in front of this, and I don't want anything in front of that. And so we don't fall off of our front little walkway up here. We're going to add a railing. So we're going to put a 1 meter board down for the uprights and then 2 meter boards for the railing itself. We're going to extend that all the way down to the ladder. And then even on this back section, we're going to add one right there, just so that you don't come up running up to here and run straight off the backside. And then we will also support our roof. We're going to grab our 1 meter and we're going to add supports for our roof. Now you'll notice that they don't quite touch, right? And that's okay. Because all we're going to do is you're just going to take that 1 meter board and you're going to lift it up a little bit and it's going to kind of snap over top of that piece. I don't know if you can see that really well, but we have the piece here. We just kind of lift it up to a point and it should snap right into place. And then also one last thing, so that we don't accidentally run down our own chute, we're going to grab our half wall And there's two sides of this half wall, right? You got a smooth side, and you have a side that's got a board on the back side of it. We're gonna put the smooth side in towards the kilns. We're gonna snap that right here in between at the top of that ramp. So we're gonna finish off our core wood decoration. We're gonna come around on two sides of this, and we're gonna take our 8 meter or 4 meter board, core wood board, and you can snap this to the top or the bottom. I suggest snapping it here to the bottom. I think it looks a little bit better, honestly. And we're just gonna bring this around like this, and then do the same over here. And it's only on these outside edges that we need to do this. So now we're gonna come in here with our wall, with our full-size wall, and because we put these points in here, this is going to help us snap right here at the edge. It's going to be a little higher up. We don't want it to snap down into the ground like here and be as tall as the 4 meter or 2 meter cordwood posts. We want it to snap just up high enough where it kind of goes above that 2 meter post a little bit. And then we're going to take our flooring and we're going to snap our flooring to that wall. We're going to put 2 of those down right here. So we want to create our little kind of catch for our coal. So we're going to grab the other wood wall. And once again, I'm putting the smooth sides inward. I want this to match up to this wall. I don't want this to be up above. I don't want this to be down below. I want it to match with the wall that I've already placed there. And we're going to put one of those on each side of that. And then all of our coal will end up getting caught right down in there. So speaking of catching, we want to create a bin to catch our processed metal that comes out of our kiln. So we're going to start off with the floor piece. I suggest rotating this around until you have it looking like this, and we want to match the middle of the, you should see a line in the middle of that board. We want to match that up with the middle of the 2 pieces of stone here as best as we can. Now, one of the other ways that you could possibly do this is you could potentially throw down a 1 meter board on either side of this and be able to just snap it right there. But that it gives you the ability to make sure that you're dead center on that, and then you can come in and just delete these. Either way works. It's your preference. It's your call. It's your build. So to create our little catch for this, we're going to take a half wall and we're going to rotate this with the smooth side inwards, and we're just going to create a little box for that. And this will help. Not that these go flying out of here at all, but there are times where I just keep pumping ores into my smelter and I accumulate quite a lot. And I just don't like them laying out all over the place. So I like to kind of try to keep them contained. And that is pretty much the build itself in a nutshell. We're going to do a couple flourishes and whatnot. These are optional pieces, but this is the functional build as it stands. Nothing else really needs to be done to this. But I'm going to add, I'm never quite done, so I'm going to add some extra bits and pieces to this. And I believe that I've calculated all of the wood for this so that this is all included. So if you stop here and you end up with extra wood, that is why. But we're going to come into our building materials. We're going to come to our 26 degree X. We're going to do a lot of these around the top. So we're going to snap that right to the bottom of that core wood piece and snap that there. And then rotate. Come around the back side. We're going to snap these into place here. I like these little things. I think they give them, I think it gives a build a little flavor, a little Viking-ish looking aesthetics, so to speak. And we're going to just bring this all the way around the 3 sides of this building. And then we're going to go a little further. On the back side of these, we will start here, and we're just going to fill in the backside, okay? We're just going to completely fill in. Oops, not like that. Just going to completely fill in this entire backside with all of these little X's. So one thing is, if you're having a heck of a time getting this to snap down into a spot, you may actually have to delete perhaps this one here and then match it off of that one, and then you should be able to throw this one back in place where it was. Right there. Just like that. And then we're going to come over here and do that on this side as well. And I want to fill this in here too. Want to put one up here. So if you can get to this from this side, that's great. You may actually have to kind of go upstairs. We're going to get these placed across the top up here. Now, these are a little bit more finicky, and this is why we didn't put straight beams across the backside. Because I found that they kind of, at times, they kind of interfere with putting the bits up there. And then we're going to come around here. We want to leave the sides open because we need to get to the sides in order to fill our smelters. But we're going to do a couple final little flourishes here just to kind of finish this off. We're going to take a 1 meter board and attach it there, and attach it there, attach it there, attach it there. We're going to do a 1 meter vertical and attach it at the corner of these boxes to kind of finish them off and give them a square look. And we're going to do the same thing inside here. We're going to take a 2 meter board, attach that here, attach one up at the top, and then take a 2 meter horizontal and attach them there. Oh, I see what the problem is. These didn't go in quite right. No, that didn't go in quite right. I thought that looked a little weird. So you want to make sure that you get these in here just the right way, because otherwise it's just not going to look right. You want it to follow the design of the rest of these. And now, yep, so this is the one that I remember being a little finicky. That goes there. And then this one snaps like that. There we go. That's better, because we want that kind of diamond looking shape, octagon shape up there, and it needs to have little tiny diamonds in between that you can see right here. Not big diamonds, we want little diamonds. So that is looking much. I may have some leftover wood for whatever reason. Like I said, that kind of makes me worried that I missed something. Oh, I did. I missed putting this little bit here so that we have a finished railing and that I definitely don't come off anywhere. But this is essentially done. There's nothing left to be done to this that I can... Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. Finishing off things. So, yes, there are these little bits here. The last thing we're going to do is we want to protect this bin from the weather. So we are going to once again come back to our trusty and friendly 26-degree angled wood piece. We're going to snap that sucker. So we're going to go on the top side of that, and we're going to put in those two boards right there. And then we're going to grab our 26-degree roof, and we're going to drop that right there. And that is going to do it. That exhausts all of our resources. We'll grab a stack of wood, and we're going to fire these kilns up with a full stack of wood. The coal comes out, rolls down the ramp right into our little chute catch that we created. Right there. Just drops down, and it all ends up right in here, waiting for us to use. And there we go. This will then process the ore that we just put in. And we have copper that has dropped out right into our little container, just right where we wanted it to go. That is the double stack kiln smelter build. Thank you for hanging out for this long. If you've enjoyed this build, definitely hit that like button or subscribe to this channel. It does help us out. And if you want to see more builds like this, definitely leave me a comment in the section below. Or if you have suggestions or comments about this build, I'd love to hear it. I have a couple more ideas, or you can make suggestions. You can also join me on Twitch. The link is down in the description below. It's twitch.tv/verbal_RD. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you next time. Drinks. There we go. I got a progress. I got an achievement on that one. I just puked into my cup and I'm drinking it.
I'd recommend you wash that.
Oh, that's a sentence right there.
Yeah, she's definitely not feeling this, and guess what else she's not going to be feeling? When I throw up all over her.
Oh, yep. I'm puking into my cup as I'm drinking it.